Here we are. Happy 420 from Newport Beach. We're
Happy 420.
burning up. What's it cost to fill up this van full of smoke, Hammer? 2 pounds?
2.5 pounds,
2.5 pounds?
but with Brandy, maybe 3 pounds because, you know, she's liking her weed today, aren't you, Brandy?
She's a trooper.
I don't know what the that means, but trooper. See?
Right.
You lit the joint, so, you know, come on.
I know. How can I be the man when you're not?
Why are we fucking up
Hit the joy.
I want to cry already. We just started this.
See, you guys the tobacco.
Okay.
Poor
Gotta get Brandy some boxing
I'll make you another drink to make up for it.
Okay, that's perfect. I feel better now.
Another gin and juice.
Gotta make a Gordon's
so
cup.
this joint's
why
probably
don't
going
you
to
give
fall
him, like, a
apart
blowjob
because our
shot?
boy, this first joint he's rolled in like 10 years, so we're trying to figure
It's
that
actually
out.
pretty
Is that-
impressive.
Yeah, I was going to say, without a crutch, too, this
I
thing
was like,
looks...
that's
Let's just say.
Is that
Let's
camera?
carry it with the thingy, maybe?
Let's just say I've done
Yeah.
this a few times.
Let's carry it with that, yeah? Keep that on deck just in case.
Adam's getting this in his inheritance anyway, right?
It's no fucking.
Oh, man, I can't
Yeah.
even imagine how many joints are, like, contained in my little hair follicle history.
Like,
That's not a
shit.
test I want to see.
No.
I might do 23andMe
If it's-
before
you
that.
would be in prison for years if it was, you know, back in the day.
If they, like, carbon dated it, too, so it was in my,
That's true,
my
it's
ice
true.
core history.
And Cheech and Chong thought they were cool.
Not as cool as us right now.
No.
Hell no.
Drop
tell you
that ash.
The ego is getting a little rough in here.
Yeah. Now the pro guys. You know.
Oh shit!
Ooh,
Oh!
edible king.
Everybody, round of applause!
Yeah.
There you
that's the
go.
way
See,
to
I'm
do
gonna
it.
change it up.
Another thing
How
someone
can I
hasn't
be the
done
man
for
when
10
you're the man?
years.
There you go.
Yeah. 10 minutes.
You
maybe.
did it. Oh, who put it out? What a dick.
I think you just
No,
set
it's
it
not
up.
out.
What?
Well, there's a lot of dicks in the car, but I mean,
There are a lot of dicks.
Yeah, we.
Actually,
Yeah, whatever our pronouns are.
That's whatever.
Yeah, you never know.
Cat and dog.
All I know is we're hotboxing my 63 bus, and guess what? The price just went up, folks. Because if I decided to sell it, now it's been hotboxed a number of times.
You know, hot.
If you buy it, just remember to check the seats.
Yeah.
She did there.
See what's in there.
Yeah. Be careful.
Might be a little
Thank you. Well,
But
thank
you got to write the
Is it
check
always?
before you check the seats. Hey guys, happy 420. After a little bit of this kush that we're having, you got to snap into a Slim Jim. Slim Jim. I'm going to eat about 30 of these today. Today we got our boy Cowboy. So all that beautiful kush right there, candy that it is, our boy Cowboy makes that. What's happening, brother?
Another beautiful day in paradise, brother.
Amen, Newport Beach. Happy 420.
Likewise.
So you make a lot of people happy, don't you?
I try to. Try my best.
Let me ask you a question. If I'm trying to, you're a grower, how do I get into this business? It's such a huge industry now. You know, what do I have to do?
Well, first thing you would need is to speak to your attorney. First and foremost.
So is that after they took the cuffs off? I mean,
That's hopefully before they put the cuffs on.
okay, good.
But that's a very frequent question with people, and yeah, it's a lot of red tape. A lot of red tape there.
But where did you get that, and what do you call your kush, and where did you come up with it, and how long have you had it, and give us a rundown.
Okay. Well, I've had...
Pour the shit out of us. Come on, we're all stoned here.
I've had this strain for about 15 years now. And
So since you're 4.
since I was about 4 years old,
Nice.
you know, who I got it from, they had it for about 10 years before they gave it to me. And it's from a company, a genetic company called DNA in Amsterdam. It's Candy Kush. It's a hybrid cross of Trainwreck and OG Kush. And nowadays, OG Kush is actually a blanketed term that is really pretty, it's a pretty false statement for the most part. It's been overbred and watered down to the point to where the Kush lineage is barely even noticeable. But people are going to call their strains that because it's a legendary type of deal.
And you got to be cool, so they're going to have...
And you got to be cool. It's a marketing strategy, really.
I like the train wreck part myself.
Well, the train wreck is exactly that after you smoke this. It's don't get behind the vehicle.
Exactly. Okay, I'm losing it. Haven't even smoked any weed and I'm already there, guys. We got quite a bit in the studio today, guys. So if, Adam, how are we going to get some of this? You know, they say I can't give this stuff away. I would love to, guys, but...
Oh, let us know in the comments if you're interested in that Cowboy's Candy Kush. Because I can smell it from here, and I'm interested.
I'm stoned just off the smell.
Well, yeah, and the fragrance is part of the entourage effect.
And by the way, the audience, there's about 60 people out there. They're all asleep. Well done. Well done. So it takes how long to grow this? Explain it to us, how this process works.
Okay, well, you're starting from a donor plant, which is termed a mother. And what she does, her sole purpose in life is to create babies. And the way she does that is you will keep her in a vegetative state, which will produce no flowers whatsoever, no actual buds.
So you're being cruel to mother.
We are being cruel. Actually, we're pampering mama because the happier your mother is, the happier your end result's going to be.
Mama just keeps growing. She never goes to harvest.
She never does. She never does. And she is actually the most crucial part of the entire process, because if she is not healthy, anything you take off of her is never going to reach its full potential.
Copy.
If mama isn't happy, then the babies are going to be bummed.
Right, and I think that's true in any scenario, right?
Yeah. Mama not happy, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
But especially when you're running different types of, I assume this is indoor just based on the quality and how it looks like you're able to control what's getting out there. And it definitely, depending on the type of room you're running as well, you've got to make sure mom is pumping out those little babies so that you can have a regular supply of new starters, right?
Well, that is true. That is true. And, depending on what your needs are with your techniques of your grow is really going to tell you what you need as far as mothers go. Some people, they skip the mothering process altogether.
I got a problem here. I see no seeds, and back in the day, man, we'd get that Mexican stuff, and all we had was stems and seeds.
Mostly toothpicks is what you were buying,
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Toothpicks and granola.
I don't see any of that here.
Well, no.
Are you ripping us off, man?
We are able to control that, being that we are weeding out all the males. And we start with nothing but females.
But, again, how do you know they're all female? Does somebody go out in the park and pull up the dinosaur skirts?
But to that point, I mean, the roots are rich in history, and it's all came from somewhere indigenous, like Mexico or South America, or other parts of the world. For instance, this Kush here originated from Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, nice.
So it's a
Thank
rich
you,
history.
Saddam Hussein.
I will say, what you were saying, Hammer, about no seeds and stems and that, pot has come a long way.
Long way.
Long way. Even, I feel like, before legalization, and that's been a huge boom to what we're able to do just in terms of, like you were saying, genetics, where we're able to trace from, how we can make sure that we're still getting, quality pot. But even just, dude, the THC content that can be isolated now is insane. I feel like I'm always buying mid-grade, but that Candy Kush from Cowboy, that's making me think about stepping up the budget.
The interesting thing, Adam, when I was your age, this would get me 20 to 30, maybe life.
Yeah. And it still can.
Right, absolutely.
In a few places. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? There are some states still that are like, you've got a joint? Yeah, okay.
Most states are still like that.
Yeah. There's only 13 states now that are legalized?
I think so. Yep. Well, let's pull it on up.
It's check it out. It's not a big amount.
Right, and hopefully we can change that here soon.
Well, you would think. I mean, the states that aren't legalizing this, they're idiots. I mean, the income off of this is insane.
Absolutely. The revenue stream that can be generated is unparalleled.
They're California, thanks Newsom, taxed the shit out of all of us for everything. That last breath I took cost $50,000, but it's a great source of revenue and employment. Period.
Absolutely.
It's the new age of, what happened with liquor.
Absolutely. It's kind of like you're seeing that happen all over again in a different
Prohibition
scenario. Yeah.
So it looks like 4 states, it's still fully illegal. Nothing, not even CBD, hemp, all of it is a no.
You mean only 4? That's pretty good, bro.
Well, yeah, but then you've also got CBD only
Right.
in 9. And then medical and decrim is kind of like...
So those 4 states, is it still a felony?
Yeah. I mean, it would still be, a federal uncontrolled substance. Yeah.
Oh, man. What state is it that are still being juvenile?
You give it a guess. Who do you think would have issues with you exercising your right to a little bit of home medicine?
I would say Texas.
No. Oregon's got to be good, right?
Yep.
Utah?
They have medical approved.
Ah, all right.
Idaho,
Who
Wyoming,
the fuck you calling a hoe?
Nebraska, and South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nebraska.
Which it is an odd one. Idaho and Wyoming to me are the only 2 with any real location similarity, right? They border each other. I don't know
Right.
how South Carolina is being a stick in the mud over there on the East Coast when you can just hop on the train and head up to Virginia, grab some good bit of pot.
Oh, Virginia. I mean, that's the tobacco capital of the world right there.
Yeah. But I mean, I also think, cigarettes definitely were normalized as a more regular relaxation thing. And I
Right.
feel I don't know, maybe I'm, getting up there. I'm getting into my twilight years. I still feel weed's my end of the day thing. That's my real weed and a glass of wine, right? That's kind of how I equate it.
Well, and you're right. Cowboy and I are talking. These idiots that sit around and just get high all day. Listen, you're not going to be productive, guys. It's kind of like a cocktail at the end of the day. Have a couple of hits, and have a good evening. That's what it's got to be about.
Absolutely. And, it really depends on what you're smoking. I
Yeah.
mean, this Candy Kush is producing 33%, which is... it's pretty up there, so
33%?
absolutely.
That is mental.
Yeah, the percentage of THC is very, very high with it, but on top of that, the terpene profile, the percentages they're also really high. I believe we're at 3.495 the last testing we had.
Even with that breakdown and composition that you've got there, though, I would still trust that over all the extracts, crumble, oils, all that stuff. I feel like smoking off of a nail, smoking anything like that is just way too tweaky for me. It gets real weird, way too strong, real quick. And I feel like with flower, I can always trust what's coming out.
Absolutely.
Very true. But you know what? How does somebody know what's the right stuff for taking you up or taking you down? I mean, how do we get to that? Is that the level of THC or
Practice makes perfect, baby.
Well, there you go.
It's the particular type of cannabis, right? So the genetics, a sativa-based cannabis is going to be more of a racy, uppity.
Well, what does that mean for the audience? Sativa.
Well, a sativa is a particular type of cannabis that has more of a uplifting, euphoric feeling, which is more racy. It's more cerebral. And it's going to, it's pretty intense when it comes to your heart rhythm and your breathing, and it's going to affect you in a way that is a little different than an indica-based cannabis, which is more of a relaxing body high, which will relax your muscles, stimulate appetite, and have you a little more in a zoned-out state.
That's your couch lock style right there.
It's Indica couch is what they would like to is what they would like to coin it as.
It's amazing how far a guy's marijuana has come, and how it was such a horrible thing, and if you had it, you're going to do time and all that kind of stuff when I was a young guy. But now and I've got a lot of friends that grow like Cowboy for medical purposes. And it's been amazing in that field.
Absolutely.
I mean, think about what it's done for people. Especially, I had a buddy of mine, shout out to Jack. He had cancer, and his mom would roll him joints because he wouldn't eat. And, the guy's, I don't know how old he is now. He's probably in his late 70s, but this one he was in his 40s. It helped him get through that.
Absolutely. You hear a lot of stories about people who have had major seizures issues, children even, that are now getting these Rick Simpson oil, CBD type products that are actually improving their overall life.
I think the whole thing for some people is like they see you smoking a joint, they think that's a little weird, but which it's not. But if you give them a pill or some oils, it's like any other medicine, except it's not big pharma, which big pharma sucks. So
the perception of CBD is interesting to me as well, because I feel like a lot of people expect this kind of euphoric cerebral high, like you were talking about, that you get from smoking flower, but really CBD is one of those things where I feel like if you don't notice it and it just kind of makes everything else in your life feel more normal, you kind of don't notice the pains, you don't notice any of the issues that you're trying to have relieved, but it doesn't mess with like a high or anything like that in your brain at all. That's kind of the beauty of it.
Right, absolutely. And I actually had a strain that was high in CBD and low in THC. It came from a bag seed, so it was kind of a mystery strain. And when I grew it out, it was beautiful. It had some large yields. And when I finally tried the product for the first time, I was waiting, and I was waiting, and I was waiting. And before I knew it, nothing happened.
Yeah, you waited the rest of the day.
But what I did notice was that I became very relaxed, and actually any aches and pains I was experiencing were starting to subside. And that's when I realized this is not your average THC producing plant here, but this has more of a different medicinal purpose for it, and it was great for that.
be very careful, guys, especially with the edibles, because you'll have a little bit and go, the waiting. You decide to eat a little more because nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden you're wondering if you should go to the ER or not.
Yeah, do not mix your edible gummies in with a pack of Sour Patch Kids. You don't just want to be eating those at the movie theater. Yeah, you'll be there from the matinees till the close of the theater. It's a long day.
You'll be, cuddled up in a corner, saying, "Mommy, help me." It's not good.
Right.
Been there, done that.
Right.
I am excited to continue to see how cannabis as a food product can expand. Because I think it is a great herbal flavor.
Yeah.
So to see where it's added into the rest of culinary options is super exciting to me.
Well, it's funny you say that, Adam. I have a friend who's been in that industry for quite a while.
Interesting.
He has some friends in LA that are doing some fine dining with cannabis that are doing very well with it, and people are really opening up to that idea that it can be part of their actual meal.
But do people that eat that, do they tip well? Because they're so fucking stoned.
Well, they can't find their wallets, you know.
It's like, what happened, man?
This one's on the house.
Yeah. Huh? And you can't get them to leave the table.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't know if that's a good business plan.
What do you mean? You got asses in seats all day, and they're hungry. That's perfect.
You got to turn those tables, man.
Right.
Not if they're tipping 420% and sitting there from breakfast through dinner.
Well, they're paying a premium price for the meals. That's for sure.
You gotta be, man.
That's for sure.
Hey guys, today's episode was brought to you by Dime Industries. You got to check out their product. You want a good smoke? Go to Dime Industries. Love you guys. If you got any comments, hit that subscribe and like.